up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're reviewing the Amityville Horror. This one came out in 2005 and was directed by Andrew Douglas and stars Ryan Reynolds and Melissa George. Now before we start, hit that like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can know for every video. Let's just start. Let's start talking about the group. So all the actors and actors in this film, I thought they were decent. They weren't the best horror film characters, not the worst, just mediocre characters. The opening sequence for this film, I thought it was good enough. It sets the tone of the film, which I will speak about that later, but I thought it did a really good job at just setting the tone. The imagery within this film, I found it to be very creepy and effective. Of course, this is a remake of the Amityville Horror from 1979, and this is... I never saw the original, but I've seen clips of it, and this movie is kind of the same as that film. But the imagery that they used throughout this film, I thought it was creepy, and it was pretty good. It actually makes you feel nervous and scared for the characters, because in this film the characters do go through different things that a normal person would not go through, especially Ryan Reynolds' character. He is obviously the lead character, and he goes through something in this film that is very creepy and terrifying at the same time. That happens around the second act of the film, but you can already sense something's going to happen in the first act of the film to that character. So I thought that the foreshadowing was very well done, and the imagery was very well done. The sequences in this film, there are a lot of creepy sequences in this film, especially in that second act of the film where you start to see different things inside the house, different things start happening, the backstory is revealed. There's a lot of creepy things in this film that are either disgusting or just very weird and creepy and scary. These sequences in this film, there are not a lot of these, but there are some tense sequences. I would have preferred there to be more tense sequences in this film, because this film does lack on the scares. This film does not have that many scares, or that many good scares, and the main reason for that is because there's little to no tension built throughout the entire film to actually get to those scares. So I thought that they should have added more tension, and so, you know, it would create a more fun film and more disturbing film. The characters, now I did speak about them earlier that they were okay. The character development that's given to those characters is possibly the minimal amount of character development that you could give to a character. I didn't really care what happened to those characters. In the third act of the film, they kind of try to make you care about them, which I did just a little bit more, but they should have started with that in the first act of the film, make them likable and relatable, so that you can actually care about them once you get to that final battle or final act, the third act of the film. And the story. I thought the story was good enough. It was okay. It was an okay story. It could have been way better. This film, again, could have been a very, very well done horror film, and some aspects of the film was, but the story was okay. So that's all the good that I have. Now let's move on to the bad. So some sequences in this film are a bit too slow, and I think they should have cut some sequences in this film or shortened them just a bit, because it does sort of it does stretch for a little bit in the second act of the film, well, a lot in that second act of the film, and that first act, because when they actually introduce the characters, it's kind of pointless, because in the end I did not really care about them all that much, so there was really no need for that first act to be so lengthy. And horror film tropes, there are a lot of them present in this film. Family moves into this old abandoned house, cheap house. Things start happening around them. Something is inside the house that affects their family, and obviously things happen to them. Those sorts of things in a film like this are expected, but obviously you don't want too many horror film tropes in a film. And this film, unfortunately, has many horror film tropes, which is very unfortunate because this film could have been one of the best remakes, but unfortunately it wasn't. So that's about it. The Amityville horror film. This is a better than expected film, but then again, I was not expecting that much. So I guess what I got from the Amityville horror was decent. So I'm going to give the Amityville horror a B-. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to post notification bell so you can know if I video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.